Hey, good people. It is September 9th, 2022. It is Jody, Fervor Voice, ready for another episode. Didn't really do an intro, did I? No, but no need. So, yeah, it's the 19th episode, my 20th episode. I think I'll do a reflection on everything, but the 19th episode, I want to kind of focus on some things and kind of open the door to what'll be coming next. With the reflection, I won't have an episode next week because I'm coming up on the anniversary of BJ's passing, and I want to make sure that I have the opportunity to kind of just breathe a little bit. I don't feel really anxious about it. Doesn't mean I'm not. Sometimes I don't recognize things until after the fact. But yeah, I just want to kind of prepare and just kind of let y'all know that it'll be a little bit of a gap in between, and we'll just kind of discuss some stuff and discuss, like I said, to reflect on the 19 episodes so far for the 20th episode. So let me go ahead and get on to episode number 19, expectations. Oh, the boogeyman, expectations. So when I think about expectations, and I know that I've always thought of expectations of just being, just kind of like the bare minimum. What everybody should think, or what most people should think or should require. And as time went on, and as I went through different things, I learned that expectations only have to do with yourself. And the tricky part about that is, wherever you are in your life, your expectations look different. So if you're not in a good place, your expectations look different. I won't say whether they look better, whether they look worse. I'm not going to say that, but they will look a little different. And I know that with me, if I'm in a place of just one of those, just one of those days where nothing really bothers me, everything's good, the expectation is just lower. I just don't expect as much. And it's all good, it's okay. But I think that with those darker days, I tend to expect a little bit more. And it kind of flips back and forth. So expectations, absolutely, in my opinion, I can't prove it, but based on what I've experienced, expectations have to do, with whatever you feel, however you're feeling, and your state of mind. So, it could be all over the place. I always give an example based on what I've been through. And the most recent experience as far as expectations go have to deal with this group that I had started. I didn't start the group, I'm sorry. It's a group that I started to subscribe to. There are certain times when I feel like I need more than what I actually have access to. So I go online and try to find different resources for my grieving, because I still grieve, I still hurt. I enjoy myself as best I can, but I still hurt. Right? And I know that there are strategies that I have to use on a regular basis, but sometimes I need even more. Sometimes what I can give myself and what I've already set in place just doesn't seem like enough. So get online and I find this support group, and it's an online support group, and go through all this information, give the info, and everything's set up. So I'm anticipating this, and I'm like, oh yeah, good. I'll be able to speak to people who have the exact same situations going on as me. This is going to be good. This is exactly what I need. And I started in with that. And I noticed that across the board with, I want to say there are probably about 10 people. Across the board with 10 people, I looked at the facial expressions of those people. And I said, wait a minute now. Somebody's going to have to bring a little bit of light to this, because I'm just I'm just kind of not used to being in a group where everybody is sucked dry. I don't I That may be kind of harsh, but that's what I saw that's what I saw. And then I said, this is this is just a little too heavy, right? So I try to lighten the mood, and I, you know, say little comments, encouraging comments or whatever. And they do kind of, I think, resonate with some. And I think we did get a little bit lighter in the conversation, but I didn't really feel like anything was, yeah, I didn't feel like anything was moving in that direction of some true light as far as, yeah, I can still laugh. Yeah, I can still be that parent who lost their child and still see light at the end of the tunnel. I just didn't feel that way. I didn't feel like anything positive. I just didn't. Just kind of sat there. So after the meeting was over, and I keep sending messages in our little chat, and I keep sending them, no response. Send a few more, no response. And then I get in contact with the person that led that group, and I'm like, hey, if I'm too much, just let me know, and I'll just stop. She's like, no, you're fine, you're fine. So, okay. We get a little bit of response from, two people, and it's like, okay, maybe we can get the ball rolling here, and I keep going. And it just never picked up. And I got upset about it. I was putting that expectation on the leader of that group to inspire, to uplift, to wake people up, and let them know you can still enjoy conversations, and you can still have a great rapport, and have all this laughter going on. If you want to, we have all the elements. We're all young. We've experienced pain, heartache. We've experienced that. We absolutely have. And we're all in different stages of it. But I expected her to bring some joy. That's what I expected. That's what my expectation was. Her expectation was just to allow people to talk. Just talk. It's an open forum. Just talk. See, for me, that expectation is too low. Yeah, I can talk. I can just talk. I can do that. But are we going to move forward to some resolve, or to an understanding, or to some kind of awareness that you can still have a good time? You can still laugh. All of those things. Because when I looked at that board, because it was a virtual meeting, it just looked like everyone had made a decision to stay sad. And that's really wasn't what I was looking for. But was it anyone's fault? No, because no one said we're going to show up and be lit. Nobody said that. That was my expectation. Expectations can get us into trouble. Or it could actually ruin something that could have been something good. It could it could take the light from it, I guess. If I could use that, just for lack of a better word. But I had to learn, and I had to understand that my expectation has nothing to do with anyone else, especially in that situation, because it never described what was going to happen. It just said it's an open forum. It's a space for you to be able to talk, and talk with people who have the same either background or have suffered similar losses. That's all it was. So we all got together and we did just that. We talked. But I got nothing out of it. Here's the flip side to that. To make sure that your expectations don't put a damper or don't rain on someone else, to make sure that they don't. Instead of having that expectation, have that intention. Having an intention as opposed to an expectation will, number one, keep you from walking around with kind of a sad look on your face because you didn't get what you thought you were supposed to. But an intention is different. Take next week, for instance, for my son's Ascension celebration. Take next week. I intend on this celebration to be one of love and of happiness. That's my intention. I intend on taking some breaks because I understand that when things start to build up, and they build up for no reason at times, I understand that I need to take a break. I understand that I need to go meditate for a little bit for no reason in the middle of something. I understand that. And my intention is to give myself all the breaks that I need throughout while I'm with my family. That's my intention. That's what needs to happen. My expectation is I expect to see my family. That's it. I just expect to see them. That's it. That's the expectation. I just expect to see you. Not expect for anybody to make me laugh. Not expect for anyone to make me feel better. I expect to see you. I expect that my daughter and my husband and I expect that we will have time together to talk. But my intention is to give myself all the breaks that I need to get through this process and to love. That's the intention. That's the difference. That is all that I wanted to touch on. Short and sweet. I just wanted to make sure that I said a few words today, and that expectation and that intention really needed to be discussed because it's something that I needed to make sure that I focused on. It feels so good out here. This is like the first time I've been able to walk in the afternoon and not feel like I'm in the desert. Oh, it feels good out here. Anyway, yeah, to recognize the difference in expectation and intention. Make sure that the intentions are the focus. The focus pieces, I should say, the intention, not the expectation. Because that will hurt your feelings if you don't get what you want. The intention should be set right off the bat. And that way things will work out so much better. You didn't expect anything. You just intended something. And that needs to be reasonable. And all will be right with your weekend, with your world, with your experience, whatever it is that you are doing. I want to say thank you for listening. Keep listening. Rate the podcast. Make sure to leave comments. And I am not getting nearly as many emails as I'd like to see. So make sure that you email me at fervorish, FERVORISH @yahoo.com. Let me know what you think about the show. All that good stuff. Thank you so much for listening. Y'all get out and get you some sunshine. My goodness, it's going to set your mood for the day. All right. Talk to y'all soon. Love you. Bye. Hey, good people. It is Jody back for the recap. Episode 19, which is expectations. And I just want to get started with this to recap quickly, just to say that the things that I discussed as far as that group that I had gotten into, everything about that was my opinion. My opinion does not make it true. It just simply explains how I saw it, my perspective. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. I did feel that after I had recorded, I said to myself, wow, that was I'm almost speaking as if I'm claiming it to be the truth. No, I'm claiming it to be my interpretation. So with that group and how I saw that group, again, my interpretation. So yeah, let's make sure we separate that part. Anyway, I started off talking about BJ's anniversary. We're coming up on his 1-year anniversary, and this is very soon about to be my time, my family's time, and I'll take the time that I need. And quite honestly, who knows? I may feel like recording the very next day. I may have some incredible things to share and say, you know what, this can't wait. So I want to go ahead and record. I want to go ahead and crank out another podcast. We shall see. But hey, I'm just going to play that thing by ear. So yeah, we'll figure out how that works. But be patient with me. I'm going to be very patient with myself. This is the first time around. So beyond that, I think defining expectations, that's kind of what I was harping on. Defining expectations, what are they? First of all, expectations are relative. They're relative to your life and your stuff. My expectations are going to be completely different from anyone else's because of my life, my stuff. I have noticed that when people speak of loved ones that they have lost, my response is very different. I don't find it to be empathetic. I don't find it not to be empathetic, I should say. But I do find it to be very much different. And that's because of my life and my stuff. So what I expect from myself and what I expect from someone else is definitely going to be different. So that's what I mean by expectations. It's always going to have to do with your life, your stuff, what you've experienced. And everyone's is going to be different. It's just crazy vast. It's just like vast. The next thing that I talked about was the group. I got into the story about the group and their just the way I kind of perceive them and the expectation that I had going in when I said, I need more. What I failed to realize besides expectation was these folks were all in different stages. These folks all had different things going on, and they may have just now started to peel back the layers. I had spoken before in previous episodes about being in therapy. I was in therapy before because I just felt that it was necessary. I was in therapy before BJ passed away. So I already understood about pulling back the layers, and I already understood about being vulnerable. I understood about the process and about these hardships actually being learning situations, different things that are going to help me to learn. I already knew about that. So, that made it a little bit different. That doesn't mean I'm light years ahead of everyone else. That doesn't mean that. It does definitely mean that we were in different stages. It does mean that. So, before it just kind of sounds like, hey, she's, dismissing us when we have something else going on. I just wanted to clear that part up. The fact that we are in different stages, we were all in different stages. And I feel like that's the reason I kind of spoke the way I spoke, kind of delivered the way I delivered. We were definitely in different stages. Without a doubt. That's what I feel. Without a doubt, and that's what I feel. I don't know if that's opinion or fact. But anyway, beyond that, with the expectations, if you're in a situation just like I was with that group, if it's below your expectation, make your way out. There's no reason for you to remain in a situation that's below your expectations. I mean, don't destroy it for everyone else because you're not satisfied with it. Make your way out and be somewhere where you can be comfortable or participate in something that is within your expectations, but don't destroy it. And I think that had I stayed with that group, I think I would have started. I can't destroy it. I can't destroy it, but I do think that I probably would have put a damper on it. And I never want to do anything like that. Everyone should have a right to their own process, and everyone should have that right in their own time. So it was best for me to go ahead and move on. And I did that, explained that I was going to be moving on. And yeah, everybody has their opinion about it, I'm sure, but that's what I needed to do. And that's exactly what I did. So I needed my expectations to be met somewhere else in another way. The next thing is to recognize the difference between an expectation and an intention. I explained about the expectations that I have coming up this weekend. The expectations that I have coming up this weekend is just to be with my family. That's the expectation that I have. It's just to be with my family. and the love. That's the expectation that I have. Now, I don't expect that anyone is going to, create any kind of a offsetting, experience or anything for any particular group of people. We're all respectful. We love each other. We treat each other really kindly. So those certain things don't even need to be mentioned, but definitely an expectation of the family being together and love. Just to give each other love. We're all hurting by this, and we need to love each other and hold each other together. That is the absolute expectation for this coming up this weekend with BJ's Ascension celebration. The intention, though, my intention is to absolutely give myself all the breaks that I need, because I know I'm going to need them, and absolutely to begin another level of my healing process. That is my intention, to begin another level of my healing process and to give myself all the breaks that I am going to need. Period, point blank, the intention. That's what I intend on happening. That is a hard-lined, yes, this is the task, period. That's what intentions are. And the intention is pretty basic. And that's what we need to make sure that we do. Keep the intentions in their correct place. Keep the expectations in the correct place. And don't expect too much from anyone other than yourself. And at the same time, don't expect what you expect from yourself from anyone else. Everyone's different. Remember, everybody's got their life and their stuff. Their expectations look different. The last thing I wanted to say is to establish the need, not the want. I didn't really mention it in that phrase, but establish the need, not the want. Once you do that and get that in order, hey, you're good to go. You are good to go. So that is all, other than the dedication. And I did want to dedicate this episode to my coach, Tina Bailey. We had this conversation, and it was an eye-opener for me. Setting those intentions will be those things that happen to save whatever particular situation you may be in that you feel like is difficult, and it's probably really not. It breaks down to what it was that you expected and what it was that you intended. So Tina, thank you so much, because you continue to show up and show me what it is that I need to look at and what it is that I need to recognize. And for this particular episode, expectations. So Tina Bailey, thank you so much. Tina Bailey, build her an incredible coach that I truly, truly appreciate and love dearly. That is all I have for you all today. I hope to see you very, very soon, or I hope to record for you very, very soon. And I'm just going to move through this thing the best way I can. So y'all be good. I will see you soon. Take care. Love y'all. Peace.